Imagine this: two superpowers, the USA and the USSR, racing to become the first to set foot on another world. But what sparked this cosmic rivalry? Why did landing on the moon become a symbol of victory in the Cold War? Today, you'll uncover the intrigues, failures, and heroic triumphs that forever changed the course of human history. What ignited the space race? A small metal satellite the size of a beach ball. On October 4th, 1957, the USSR launched Sputnik 1, shocking the world. The USA realized they were falling behind. Politicians called it the Sputnik crisis. This tiny satellite not only transmitted simple radio signals, but also symbolized the Soviet Union's technological superiority. It inspired the USA to create NASA, which became the main tool for future space missions. Did you know that the launch of Sputnik 1 even influenced the US education system, emphasizing science and engineering? Rumor has it that Sputnik's success was partly due to information obtained by Soviet spies in the USA. These whispers of espionage have always added an air of mystery to the achievements of both nations. Who was the first person to see Earth from space? On April 12th, 1961, Yuri Gagarin made history. His flight lasted only 108 minutes, but it cemented the USSR's position as the leader in space exploration. Once again, the USA found itself in the shadows. Gagarin became a hero not just for the USSR, but for the entire world. His smile, which appeared on magazine covers everywhere, symbolized human courage. Interestingly, his mission was so secretive that Gagarin's family learned about it only after his successful return. There are whispers that Gagarin's flight was far more dramatic than officially reported. Some sources claim he narrowly avoided tragedy due to a malfunction in the capsule's systems, but these details were carefully hidden by Soviet authorities. Who gave the American space program its bold vision? President John Kennedy. In 1961, he declared that the USA would land a man on the moon before the decade was out. It was risky, expensive, and seemingly impossible, but the Americans launched the ambitious Apollo program. Kennedy prioritized science and engineering, turning the space program into a national mission. NASA's funding skyrocketed, and the USA began testing new rockets capable of taking humans to the moon. Kennedy's speech was not just about space, it was about uniting the nation around a grand goal. Some speculate that during the decision-making process for the Apollo program, Kennedy and his advisors had intel on secret Soviet plans for a moon landing. This could have been a key motivator to accelerate the American effort. How many setbacks did both sides endure to reach the moon? The USSR faced disaster with the launch of the giant N-1 rocket, which exploded before liftoff. The USA lost 3 astronauts in a fire during the Apollo 1 test. Each of these moments could have ended the space race. These tragedies were painful reminders of the risks of space travel. For the USA, it was a turning point, prompting a thorough review of safety protocols that later saved the Apollo 13 crew. The USSR, meanwhile, shifted focus to less risky automated missions. What was it like to set foot on another world? On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin achieved what humanity had dreamed of for centuries. The moon landing was a victory not only for the USA but for all of humanity. But what was the USSR doing at the time? The moon landing was an incredible technical feat. From precise lunar orbit insertion to the Eagle module's landing. Meanwhile, the USSR focused on creating lunar rovers and planning a base, but their ambitions were hindered by resource shortages and technical issues. To this day, conspiracy theories claim the moon landing was staged in a studio. While experts have debunked these claims, their existence adds an intriguing layer to the story. Have you ever wondered why the moon race was so important? It gave humanity not just technology but hope. Even after the race ended, both countries began cooperating in space. The International Space Station is a direct legacy of that era. Now that you know how the USA and the USSR competed to conquer the moon, tell us, could we have achieved such heights without this rivalry? Share in the comments which event impressed you the most. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to explore more fascinating stories about space. And remember, space is where dreams become reality. See you in space.